All right, Shalom. I want to start by saying, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, real quick, just a little pick me up, a little quick bit. I was reading some scriptures earlier, and I was at work, sitting in the van. Then I was sitting around, I got the app on your phone. Sometimes you just randomly go do scriptures. I know that's what I do, when I'm out doing whatever. Just sitting around, instead of like just sitting around not doing shit, sit around, get some scriptures in, get some scriptures implanted more in your mental. Anyway, so I was reading random scriptures, so I happened to come across Matthew the 5th chapter. Okay, Matthew the 5th chapter is very good because basically how Shai is saying to, like, even though it's bad right now, it's gonna be good forever a little later than now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna bring those. I'm gonna bring that scripture out, and then I'm gonna bring the beginning scripture where when the book of Romans we talk about being joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here waiting for, and that's what we're working to achieve. That's what we're going to be a part of. There's nothing really else I give a fuck about, to be honest. You got your, you got your, certain things you got to do in this world, but at the end of the day, that's just for everyday life as a slave in captivity and the daughter of Babylon. It really has nothing to do with us. That's why the Lord said not to really have too many cares in this world, because he about to destroy it for one, and two, he about to destroy it. Like, it's no other thing. The Lord's about to destroy. So why would you be heavily invested, and why would you put all your eggs into the basket, aka America, when it's about to be burned up? And that's really why this really the main prophecy to come to pass before the kingdom of heaven is officially established for good. And that's for Yahweh Shai to step foot back on the earth. Because when Yahweh Shai steps foot back on the earth, that's when the earth is going to take notice that the earth is not in its right state right now. You know what I'm saying? And it hasn't been in its right state for a long time, because Yahweh Shai hasn't really ever ruled. Now, we have the time of Solomon, but it wasn't Yahweh Shai in as far as the essence and the perfection of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because at the end of the day, when Solomon was a man, and Solomon got old, and then he went off. Okay? So in a sense, the Lord was just in a predicament as us, because he said, he came on earth as a man the first go around, Solomon, and you include Yahweh Shai before the crucifixion, but now he's about to come back in his great glory, man. He's gonna come back in his great glory, and he has men that he's gonna come and deliver and put in a good case that are not in a good case now. And that's why we do these videos. That's why we have the mentality we have. That's why we think the way we think. Because we have a fear and we have an admiration of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that we hope that the Lord keeps with us until the very end, until the kingdom is established, and it will be good forever on out. Okay, but I'm going to read out the scriptures real quick. Let me make this long. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8. I'm going to start at verse 16. It says, "The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. And if children, then heirs, heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together." And that's what we're waiting for. We're hoping to be a part of that, because the Lord already did his thing. Now he had just to come back and sit on his inheritance, which is the earth and everything else in it, and beyond. All right. Now, verse 18, that's actually a good scripture too. It says, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." Let me read that again. Think about it. Think about how jacked up it is. How really, really vexing and just unrighteous and wicked and evil it is here in America, aka the daughter of Babylon, aka that great whore. You know what I'm saying? This is like the worst. This is like a real shitty ass life for an Israelite man. Like, this is not the proper place for an Israelite to be king, because we're in this kingdom. Where it's not for us to be our king in our kingdom state, just like it wasn't like that for the Lord to be that way in the Roman Empire. Now, I mean, it's the same thing. That's why the Lord Yahweh Shai, who they call Christ, is a perfect example on how to be, because he laid the blueprints for what we're going through now. Because he came in the worst affliction. He came in the worst vexation. He came in the worst, and he came with the most weight on his shoulders, man. The Lord took the weight for us. The Lord, Yahweh set him up to take the weight for us. Lord, I hope to be part of the elect, to have my sins covered. Because every Israelite has sin to their name. So we have to hope that Yahweh's blood is covering us. And in these churches, they try to make it seem like you already know that his blood is covering you. But you really don't know at all. But reading on, I'll read that verse again in 18. It says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time, so fast forward from the Roman Empire in the time of Paul, fast forward into now. You can use this same scripture to apply to now. It says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. So from Yahweh onto Yahushua, onto his elect. That's the great glory that's going to be revealed. And that's the great glory that's coming soon. Okay? Well, I'll start from the top. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 1. And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. That's us. Even though we're rich in spirit, but we're really poor in spirit too, because, you know, we have times where we have down days, where we're down and when we're like, you know, I don't want to say depressed, because I don't like to use that word, but like, we're more so like, just like, not happy. We're unhappy. You know? It says, blessed are the they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. That's comforting. It says, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Now, why would we be mourning now? Because we're in captivity. Under Esau, which is the worst piece of shit heathen on the planet. And it says, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are the meek, with the poor. I know I'm poor. I know the apostles are poor, and everybody on down is poor. And if you aren't poor in America, and you're quote unquote in the truth, then you're not really in the truth. If you're actually rich right now here in America, if you're rich, I'm talking about that you're doing real good in America, you are not a man of the Lord, and you're not in the truth. And when I say doing good, I'm not talking about like you got your little. I'm talking about like rich, motherfucker. I'm talking about rich, like I'm talking about you have equity, you have millions on millions. I'm talking about that kind of rich. I'm not talking about like a nice white collared rich. That's not even rich. I'm talking about like you're rich, like your churches is out here blinged up, you doing all this, man. That's no. That's not how a man of the Lord should be moving at this present moment. The glory is going to come later. We're on the meek end of it right now. But reading on, it says, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness. What? Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. So we thirst and we're hungry for righteousness, man, because all we're seeing right now is unrighteousness. That's all that's around in America is unrighteousness. It says, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. So you're supposed to be merciful to your brethren. You're supposed to be merciful to your fellow Israelite person, kinsman, or kinswoman. You're supposed to be merciful. Even if you feel they don't deserve it, and even if you feel that you shouldn't. But blessed are they that are merciful, because at the end of the day, a lot of this shit is bullshit anyway. So, you know, I mean, just keep it moving. Hey, it's good, you know, whatever. And it says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see Yahweh, pure in heart. That's what the Lord is going to come back. That's what Yahweh Shai is going to do. Because when he comes back and we get that glory, he's going to clean our hearts. He's going to clean our mind. Because his Father has him doing it. And hey, look, man, I just happen to be an Israelite man. But if you got a problem with this, you got to talk with Yahweh. And he said he's not going to change his mind. He said this is the covenant that's forever. So you an Israelite man, that's the best thing to be. And if you're an Israelite man in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai right now, and a man of the elect, it's going to be nothing but better for you, man. And that's why I hope to be gay. Because you ain't got shit here. And it says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Yahweh. Verse 10, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So we're persecuted for righteousness' sake. Not just being persecuted. You know, Jake is persecuted, but sometimes Jake brings it upon himself. But I'm talking about, it says persecuted for righteousness' sake. That's for involving his truth. Maybe you're out there prophesying, the cops harass you. Or you're telling somebody the truth, and telling someone the truth, and you got demons, and you got people trying to interrupt the word coming out. That's persecuted for righteousness' sake. For there is the kingdom of heaven. Verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. So basically people going to lie on you, man. People going to lie about your name. People going to lie about what you do and what your beliefs are. I had a friend of mine, went to school and known him for years. He put in a little group chat we had that, asking, do we, do stuff with certain age young women? It was like, no, because of what he heard from, I think it might have been, I don't know if it's that dude Polite, but it was like, rumors about, if you believe in the truth, the Israelites, so to speak, they say that, oh, they're child rapists and child, it was like a few videos that came, I think it was Polite. I think it started with that dude Polite. But anyway, it said, blessed are ye, women shall revile you. That's like, speak evil on you, lie on you. You know what I'm saying? But hold up, let's see something. Let's see the word that the Esau used. I know it's kind of like despise, some shit like that. Oh, come on. Okay, so even that. Oh, that shit's not on. Revile. I got my airplane mode on Salakia. Revile. See, despise right there. Revile. Despise. So, with that in mind, so it says, blessed are ye when men shall despise you and persecute you and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. So that means you got a lot of people in this world that despise us, man. Through Yahweh Shem Yahshua, it's because they really despising them. But if you prophesying in their name, you preaching in their name, and you living in their name, then you're going to be despised on this earth, man. That's why he said, blessed are ye. Verse 12, rejoice and be, and I think that's where I'm going to end it out too. Because first 11 verses were the ones that really hit home for me this morning. But I'm going to read verse 12 as well. It says, rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. So what? They prophesied the prophets before us. I hope to be a prophet because I prophesied at the moment, and I'm praying to prophesy here. I hope through the grace and mercy of Yahweh Shem Yahshua to prophesy until Yahweh returns. But it says what? They persecuted the prophets but that were before you. So they're gonna persecute you as well. And we're gonna continue to prophesy. And he said, rejoice and be exceeding glad. He said, rejoice and be exceeding glad, for you great is your reward in heaven. That's why that's why sometimes you can walk around with a certain kind of cheerfulness and happiness even in this shithole. Because you have the promise in your mind. You have this reward in your mind to where nothing can really fade you, because it said no suffering. She said, what in Romans 8:18 I just read, it said, frankly, that the sufferings of this present time should not compare to the time to come, basically the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? It's the kingdom. That's what we're waiting for. Hey, so with that, hopefully this is edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone. And peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth in all truth and sincerity. Shalom.